Hello friends, today we are going to learn ordering mathematical operations. For a calculation that has only one mathematical operation with two numbers, it is a simple case of either adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing to find your answer. But what about when there are several numbers and different operations? Maybe you need to divide and multiply or add and divide. What do you do then? Fortunately, mathematics is a logic-based discipline, as so often there are some simple rules to follow that help you work out the order in which to do the calculation. These are known as the orders of operations. A common technique for remembering the order of operations is the abbreviation BODMAS. In BODMAS, P stands for brackets or parentheses. O stands for orders such as square roots and root overs. D stands for division, M stands for multiplication, E stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. We will use this order of operations in all our problems. Sometimes you may see the word PEMDAS instead of BODMAS, but PEMDAS is as simple as BODMAS. P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. Whatever is inside the parentheses or brackets should be solved first. Parentheses are the first step in our equation. Next comes exponents. Then comes multiplication. After that division. And you can do the addition and subtraction together. A common technique for remembering the order of operations is the abbreviation PEMDAS, which is turned into the phrase, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." This phrase stands for and helps one remember the order of parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction. This listing tells you the ranks of operations. Parentheses outrank exponents, which outrank multiplication and division, but multiplication and division are at the same rank, and multiplication and division outrank addition and subtraction, which are together on the bottom rank. In other words, the precedence is parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, whichever comes first, then addition and subtraction from left to right, whichever comes first. To just see if you have understood it or not, let's do some problems. Let's start with the first one, which says 3 plus 7 into 6 by 3. In the first step, we will multiply 7 and 6, which is 42, and then we will divide 42 by 3, which is 14, and the final outcome will be 3 plus 14, which is 17. Let's go on to the next problem. We've got 6 into 4 in a bracket or parenthesis by 3 minus 6 plus 2. So since we have gotten parentheses or brackets, we will go solve them first. So what is 6 into 4? It is 24. Then we will do the multiplication part. Oh, we don't have a multiplication. So let's move on to the division part. 24 by 3, which is 8. Then our final equation outcome will be 8 minus 6 plus 2. In the second problem, we have to do addition and subtraction in the last steps. So it will later be 2 plus 2, which is 4. Let's move on to the next problem. The next problem says 2 square into 9 by 3. So we've got an exponent here, but make sure there are no parentheses and they're not in this problem. So let's start with the exponents because they come after the parentheses. What is 2 square? Well, 2 square is just 2 into 2, which is 4. Next step, we will multiply 4 into 9, which is 36. And in the last step, we will divide 36 by 3, which is 12. So 12 is the answer. Now these are some important notes to remember. Number 1. In a particular simplification, if you have both multiplication and division, do the operations one by one in the order left to right. Number 2. Multiplication does not always come before division. We have to do one by one in the order from left to right. Number 3. In a particular simplification, if you have both addition and subtraction, do the operations one by one in the order from left to right. Here are some problems which use these facts. So let's do them. Let's do the first one. 16 by 4 into 3. So as it said in the first note, we have to do it from left to right. So we will do 16 by 4 first, which is 4. Then we will multiply 4 and 3, which is 12. So the answer for the first problem is 12. Now let's do the second one. The second one uses the third fact. The third fact says that you have to do it from left to right again, and in addition and subtraction. So we have to do the subtraction first, which is 18 minus 3, and that is 15. So then it will become 15 plus 6. Then we do the addition, and then it will become 21. So the answer to the second problem is 21. In the above simplification, we have both division and multiplication. From left to right, we have division first and multiplication next. So we do division first and multiplication next. The same goes with addition and subtraction. In mathematical expressions, brackets convey that the operations in the brackets are to be carried out first. The expression in the brackets is to be treated as a single number. Different types of brackets are used in mathematics to get the correct value of expressions. Now we will discuss 4 different types of brackets. First, bar brackets or line brackets. Second, round brackets or ordinary brackets, or simply first brackets. Third, curly brackets or middle brackets, or simply second brackets. Fourth, square brackets or big brackets, or simply just third brackets. Brackets are removed in a certain order. The order of removing brackets is vinculum. Round brackets, curly brackets, square brackets. If there is a positive sign before a bracket, then the bracket is removed without changing the signs of the terms within the brackets. If there is a negative sign before a bracket, then the bracket is removed by changing the signs of the terms within the brackets. If there is no sign between the brackets, then multiplication sign is presumed. To just see if you have gotten it or not, let's do some problems. Let's start with the first one. 10 square minus 16 by 8. Let's solve this problem using PEMDAS. So we know that parenthesis comes first, but since there is no parenthesis, let's go on to the exponents. We have 10 square, which is 100. Then we can do the division. So our final problem will be 100 minus 2, since 16 by 8 is 2. 100 minus 2 is 98. So the answer to our first problem is 98. Let's move on to the next one. Let's solve this problem using BODMAS. So we know that we are supposed to do brackets first, but there are no brackets here. So all that is left is division and multiplication. So multiplication comes first from left to right. So let's do that first. 6 into 4, 24. Then without going on to the next line, we will do 8 by 2, which is 4. So then we will write 24 plus 4, and then we will also do in the same line minus 3 into 2. Then it will become 24 plus 4 minus 6. So what is 24 plus 4 minus 6? 24 plus 4 is 28, and 28 minus 6 is 22. So the answer to the next problem is 22. Let's move on to the third problem. Let's solve this problem with using BODMAS. This problem is a bit longer, but no need to worry. If we do it step by step, we'll get the answer right. So, since we have no brackets or exponents here, let's move on to the multiplication and division part. So, I can see that from left to right order, I see division first. So, we will do division in the first line. So, our first division is 18 by 6, which is 3. And our second division is 10 by 2, which is 5. So our problem is 3 into 2 minus 4 into 2 plus 5. Now let's do the multiplication in this line. 3 into 2, that's 6. Then we will do minus 4 into 2, that is minus 8. And then we can just write plus 5. So our problem is 6 minus 8 plus 5. What is 6 minus 8? Seems a bit odd. Well, 6 minus 8 is minus 2. Then we get minus 2 plus 5, which is simply 3. Let's do the fourth problem now. So this one is a bit longer and complicated, but that's okay, we can still solve it. This one has brackets or parentheses, whatever you want to call it, but it's the same. So there are 2 brackets, so we will solve them separately. Let's do the first one first. The first bracket says 12 by 4 plus 2. What's 12 by 4? It's 3. So for now, the first bracket says 3 plus 2. Now moving on to the second bracket. From the order left to right, multiplication comes first. So let's do multiplication first. Our multiplication is 8 into 2. What's the product? It's 16. For now, the second bracket will become 16 by 16 plus 1. On to the next line. Now we can do the 3 plus 2 from the first bracket, right? 3 plus 2 is 5. So now I think you can notice that they have no sign given between these 2 brackets. So we'll just consider it as multiplication, remember? So let's put a multiplication sign there and go on to the next bracket. So we had 1 plus 1, since 16 by 16 is 1 and 1 was left over. So 1 plus 1 is 2. On the next line, there will be 5 into 2, which is simply 10. Okay, on to the fifth problem. Oh, but this has too many numbers and signs. I don't seem to get them at all. I need help solving this problem. Wait, maybe I should just call my teacher.
Hello my dear kid, this is a very simple problem. Let's do it together.
Okay.
So we have got two brackets here. Okay, and division and multiplication. Okay, first start with the first bracket. 72 divided by 6 in the first bracket. Okay, can you please tell me what is 72 by 6?
72 by 6 is 12.
Very good. Then in the second bracket we have got 6 into 4. What is 6 into 4?
It's 24.
Okay, so first in the first line we will solve only the bracket parts, right? So 72 divided by 6, which is 12, multiplied by 4 minus 72 and divided by 6 into 4, which is 24, right? So we are only left with one division in the second line. 72 divided by 24, right? And one multiplication, 12 into 4. So in the second line we can do the multiplication first, because from left to right we are getting multiplication first before division. So 12 into 4 is 48, and 48 minus 72 by 4, which is
3.
Yes, right. 48 minus 3, and the answer will be
45.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Hi kids, now we will solve the last problem of simplification. So in this problem we have got a bar, first bracket, as well as second bracket. So how we will solve this problem? Okay, so we know that there is a preference rule among the brackets. So can you please tell me what are the preference rules?
Well, we have to do the bar bracket first, and then the round brackets, then the curly brackets or the flower brackets, and then the square brackets or the third brackets. But since we don't have them, we will stop at second brackets.
Okay, very good. So under the bar we have got 8 minus 6. So 8 minus 6 will be calculated first. So 8 minus 6 is 2. So in the first line we will write 18 minus curly bracket 9 plus round bracket 5 plus 8 minus 6, which is 2, right? Curly bracket is also known as second bracket, and round bracket is also known as first bracket. In the second line we will compute the numbers within the first bracket. So we can see that under the first bracket there are numbers 5 plus 2. So in the second line we will write 18 minus second bracket starts 9 plus 5 plus 2, which is 7. So in the third line we will compute the numbers and operations under the second bracket. Under the second bracket we can see there is 9 plus 7. So 9 plus 7 is 16. So 18 minus 16, and the answer will be 18 minus 16, which is 2. Thank you so much.
Happy learning!